Harry Gurney.
He is sharing the new ball with Jimmy Anderson, Harry Gurney.
What did you make of Harry Gurney, Mike? You'd have seen a little bit of him, but not that much around and about in county cricket.
So I'm at the Oval.
That's what I mean.
Not much in county cricket.
What did you make of him?
He looked okay. You know, he has a lot of arms and legs flying in different directions, but what happens at the batsman then is very important, and he gets the ball down there quite well. Except on that occasion. But what was so important for me at the Oval is every time we saw a close-up of the ball going down the wicket, the seam was upright. It wasn't scrambled and wobbling all over the place. That means even at his end, although it looks a little bit awkward at delivery, he's getting his wrist behind the ball, he's getting everything on the ball in the right position so that the ball does get out of his hand in the proper position to keep that seam upright. Pitched outside leg, I would think.
Not a lot going for that. Too short, pitching outside, leg stump, therefore going over the top.
Eventually, a run off the bat.
One leg. 4 balls to come.
Where's that upright seam, Mikey?
Just wobbling a bit there. But at least it's still upright enough for it to pitch on the seam. Said he was sharing the new ball with Jimmy Anderson. Of course, I was reminded that there are 2 new balls in these ODIs these days. So practically has his own new ball, but still, as far as the opening bowling is concerned, sharing the new ball with Jimmy Anderson. Just a single and also a wide in the over, 4 without loss.
Combination of stats-driven data and a little bit of commentator feel, depending on what we think of the conditions on the day. And we'll come up with our score predictor in the first innings. So the average score here in the last 10 games is 246. Had a long, hard debate about things in the commentary box, and we've just upped it fractionally to around 250. Dilshan has to hurry, and remember, he's suffering a little with a groin injury, but he's safe and home. The local boy, Suryan Botham, he wanted it lower. He wanted about 238. The rest of us were a bit higher. Well, myself and Nick Knight were higher. I don't know about you, Mikey. And our exec producer overruled the great man. And he's chuntering at the back of the box currently.
Well, he's chuntering, but I'm not too sure about the subject you just referred to. But he's certainly chuntering.
Very brave of our executive producer to overrule the great man.
Well, there's certainly enough help out there for the bowlers.
Yeah, Anderson has generally looked to send the ball across Tiramani. Again, you can see that beautiful seam position. And there is movement off the pitch.
New sponsors for the ODIs this year. I'm very impressed with the colors of the new sponsors. Purple and white, my old school colors. Those who went to Kingston College, Casey in Jamaica, will love those colors. All around the boundary as well, the boundary ropes covered in purple and white. Fantastic. Single off the over, 5 without loss.
I'm going to come out, I'm going to meet you centre of the ring, first round, and I'm going to hit you with 2 right hands.
Right hand! George Groves, timing perfect!
Let's not forget, I stopped him on the road.
Foster has stopped it!
It was a stonewall robbery.
If I win my fight, they've got to fight me.
I just want to dominate opponents.
Froch Groves 2, Unfinished Business, Saturday 6 p.m. on Sky Sports box office. Press the green button, see channel 743, or go to skysports.com/FrochGroves2.
3 overs bowled, and at the moment batsmen really struggling to get bat on ball. Pitch doesn't look as flat as it was purported to be. Runs. Good shot. That should go all the way.
Lovely that from Dilshan. England generally have an over pitch this morning. They've hit the pitch hard on just back of a length. This one is a little fuller from Harry Gurney. Just pushed up, looking to see whether there's any swing there, and there's not. So Dilshan has just pushed that back down the ground.
Good comeback, that delivery. Previous delivery gave it every chance to swing as well. I've seen the seam wobbling a bit at times, but that last one, the seam was quite upright. Again, on the boundary. Once it gets past the infield, I don't think there's much choice. about it getting into the boundary.
Yeah, second excellent shot from Dilshan, who moves into double figures. Just a little over-pitched again from Gurney. Similar length to the ball that got driven 2 balls ago. The previous delivery was just perfect length, you'd say, but there's not much swing for Harry Gurney. When he throws it up there, that's just allowing Dilshan freedom to drive.
Ooh, close call. That left leg was just a tad late in getting out.
Threat of the left armour, even if there's not that swing back into the right-hander that Gurney is looking for, he's always got the angle, always got something to work with. It's just not quite as full as the 2 that have gone to the boundary.
Just a single. Bopara, the man at square leg. I think he perhaps needs to just pull that string in his waist a bit tighter. Ravi Bopara. Good over that for Sri Lanka. 9 runs coming from it, 14 without loss.
Kumar Sangakkara, who played up here earlier this season. Brief stay with Durham to prepare for the tour. Game we covered up here, he did a lot of fielding and not a right lot of batting. Got a naught. Might have had a pair. Was given not out. When the Yorkshire boys thought he'd nick one behind on a pair in the second innings, and then he made 14, but was in the field for about a day and a half as well. Made up for it at home, though, didn't he? Big 100 there. Fine player.
Another wide.
Harry Gurney's last over. The 2 really full balls got driven straight down the ground.
Took a long time, that first run for Tirmani. Got it off his 18th delivery. the sing leg, I think. So does Murray Erasmus. It's 17 without loss.
It's nip off the seam rather than swing for Anderson at the moment. You can see that's come back sharply. But because of the length, it was quite a short length, and therefore going well over the top, and probably did too much as well.
Chris Jordan did so well at the Oval, both bat and the ball. And he's actually fielding in his slips at the moment. Just shows the faith that they have in him and his cricketing ability. Not just batting and bowling, but in the slip cordon.
Well, he hasn't got going yet, Tiramani. He's a bit frustrated there because that was a half volley on about Midland leg. He was eyeing up the gap between Bapara and Morgan through mid-wicket. Just got it too straight to mid-on. Plenty of advice coming Tiramani's way from Dilshan. The strike rate is 100 compared to Tiramani's 4.8 at the moment.
Single now, the third man. And what do you think of the advice, Athers? Do you agree with it?
Looking around for Russell Arnold to translate the Sinhalese for us.
Beautiful delivery. 19 without loss. Tiramani is struggling a bit out there, but that was a fantastic delivery.
One or two changes for Sri Lanka today. Two changes. Priyanjan in and Prasad in. For Pereira and Lakmal, who is injured.
That's a good call, I think. Dilshan wanted a single and still thinks there was a single. Not too sure about that. Hard through. Root is the man there at mid-on.
Yeah, he's a bit disgruntled with himself, Joe Root there. You can see he's shaking his head. He had a little kick at the turf as well. He knows he should have stopped this at mid-on. It wasn't hit that firmly by Dilshan. It was mistimed, if anything, and Root got across, but just got past him.
Cost this team a couple of runs. Should have just been a single. Tirmani certainly is struggling. This is where they have bowled at him today, and he hasn't really been able to get the ball off the square.
Yes, it's a different game, isn't it? Fish conditions, very northerly outpost here in England. Cool, ball nipping off the seam, not quite what he's used to.
More sawdust being brought onto the pitch. The damp outfield, so you'll find the bowlers running in, bringing moisture in on the bottom of their boots and then depositing that moisture on the pitch. Started dry, of course, the pitch. Been informed by Richard Isaacs, our statistician, that it's currently 13 degrees outside. When I left Florida, it was 31, the other way around. Another single for Tirmani. And again, information coming through. It's currently 31 in Colombo as well. Score. Got a bit of bat on it though. Gets another single. 5 runs from the over. 24 without loss.
O primeiro para noticias
Inéditas
da Copa do Mundo
siga o desempeño
da Inglaterra. Entrevistas
colectivas
da imprensa. Reações e análises pós-jogo. Falamos
a língua da
Falamos a língua da Copa do Mundo.
Sky Sports News brings you all the latest news throughout the World Cup.
7 overs bowled, no bowling changes as yet. Change up here in the commentary box though. So Ian Botham getting ready for revenge, and he's beside David Law.
It's not a bad start, isn't this, from Sri Lanka? England the ball 4 wides. I stress we were up here 3 or 4 weeks ago. Exactly the same conditions. You just think it's cool, overcast. Pitch with a bit of dampness. It did nothing. It was a 4-day game. Durham versus Yorkshire. Bit of bounce. Bending his back, Harry Gurney, 84 miles an hour. Tall, whippy bowler.
feeling the splice. Not a quick pitch. Plenty of effort goes into it.
That's got the treatment. All the way.
And some. 20 yards over the boundary.